specialist that will give us some tips how to be better in this world of social media, on the new media, and better to the business world in this general, because we're living a special time and we need to social distancing to be something so unique and direct with our clients. So this is the new media, and Marco is the perfect person to speak about it. Thank you for accepting this talk. So tell us and to our community who is Marco and what is digital marketing.
Thank you, Petra. Thank you, Carlos and Avila staff for hosting me. I'm Marco. I'm working for an Italian company called 1C, and we are a consulting digital strategy company. That basically means we help small medium company to digitalize their business. And since August, I'm working remotely from Avila, that is supporting and helping me. And so thanks again. I work in digital marketing, but my main most of my time I work in paid advertising. That is the activity or running campaigns on several platforms through the web. Generally, digital advertising is any form of advertisement across the internet, so it could be on a website, on apps, or any placement online. The paid advertising is basically a process of where the advertiser pay the owner of an ad space to promote their product or service or company, basically, and the price for that ad space is a bidding process through the advertisers and the owner. And so the advertiser join a sort of auction where they propose their estimated payment. That could be a CPC, cost per click, and that's why the campaign are so-called pay per click. But could also CPVs, cost per view, or CPM, cost per 1,000 impression. It depends about the platform, the campaign you are setting, etc.
Yes, yes.
And so.
So it's essential, right, for the business to have those kind of tools working for them.
Of course, it's essential, and in the next years is getting more and more important for the company, and it's one of the most important insights in digital.
Yeah.
And
but is it guaranteed that brands will be better inserted with advertisement? What can we think about in a new scenario? How can advertisement can be a good thing? Taking in what you just said now.
Okay, so I will start through the main difference between the traditional marketing and digital marketing or advertising. Basically, thanks to all the data we can collect, thanks to this platform, we have the ability to target and catch the user in different phases of the marketing funnel. That is on the top, on the awareness phase, and the consideration in the middle, and the decision phase in the town. And so we have this power to propose our ads to users that are actively searching for our product or brand or services, or that have a profile that could match and our needs and our product. And so we can use those data that those platforms provide us to shows target in different markets, interest, etc., and choose the right person to target.
So the right person is a persona, right? Is it what we
of course.
call? Right?
On the web we call that user, of course, but
user.
we're talking about people.
Yeah. So, and tell me, for someone that in the world of advertisement, this may be a really monster word, because we see advertisement everywhere. We're on the streets, we see advertisement. We're on the bus, we see advertisement. We're on TV, we see advertisement. But how can I invest in advertisement without looking at that like something that people will be scared, because it's actually a monster in our lives? How can we look like that?
So, for instance, as you correctly said, the number of platforms that is providing advertising today is huge and is getting higher in the next years. The most famous platforms in Europe are, for instance, Google, Facebook, and LinkedIn, those methods. But, for example, in China, they don't have Google, they don't have Facebook, but they have WeChat, Weibo, and all digital advertising platforms that are basically providing the same services with some difference, of course.
Yeah.
But the first point is the first advice I will give someone want to approach digital advertising is we can today find many free materials on the web, and so we can have know-how for free and exactly. And then we can make a little focus on the main metrics on the digital, because we can have impression in the top of the funnel. That means when a user sees an ad, we have clicks in the middle where a user actively interact with my ad, and so he demonstrates an interest. And in the down of the funnel, we have the so-called conversion that could be in B2B, generally leads that are basically users that demonstrate an interest submitting a form or asking for a consulting, or in case of e-commerce or basically B2C, users that want to buy my funnel product. And of course, there are also some relative metrics like CTR, that is the relation between the people who saw my ad, so the impression, and the clicks. And this is a correct indicator of how much the target I'm boosting my ad is interested in my ad.
So, one question: when you choose the metrics and those questions that you're talking about, you're thinking about the goal of a business, right?
Of course. So the the first point, if a company wants to start with advertising, is that it need to be clear what goal I want to achieve. Okay, and as a consequence, we will achieve different metrics. For example, if I'm launching a new brand on the market, of course, it will be very difficult to sell this product if no one knows my name and my company. And so in this case, it will be better to make some brand awareness campaigns, for instance. And in this case, the main metric will be the impressions, the reach, that means the unique user I'm gonna achieve and target. Maybe the click of people who saw my website, and so can have many different information about my services, my company, etc. And it will be completely different, of course, if I want to create a campaign in the decision phase to maybe sell my coffee machine online, for instance, or promote a new software with a special price just for a month, where I expect that someone contact me to have more information or book a demo or a free consulting. So, of course, the first point is understand which is the goal I want to achieve, and as a consequence, we will set up different campaigns, different channels, and as
the best ones, right? Because we can think about sending our message to all the channels, and then we don't work the content, right?
Sure.
So the idea of advertisement is also a back office work.
Sure.
So this back office, it's very important, because we think of brands that don't invest too much in content, but then we think a lot in advertisement. So this is kind of a challenge to people. Being a challenge, do you believe it's easy for someone that is not used to this new generation of content and advertisement and all of those things that you were talking about? Do you think it's easy for someone that is not used to that?
It's not easy, of course, but as every digital marketer will tell you, it's about testing. Okay, so when I start, I manage many campaigns in my career, but every time we are setting up campaigns for new clients, of course we can make some pre-analysis through some tools we're gonna talk later. But the point is, we can have an idea of which channel can perform better. But at the end, the truth is that we are gonna test different campaigns goal, target, ad, final ad, that means title, creativity, video, carousel ad for Facebook to show product. So there are many variables inside the platform and outside, as COVID is one of those, of course, because it gets the equilibrium. And so
the COVID. During this year, do you feel like there's a better platform to invest in advertisement, or what is your opinion during this year?
Okay, my opinion, of course, is we observed many different digital trends in this month. For instance, of course, the people spend a lot of time in their house, and so most of the time they were spending time on social media, of course, or on the web, on internet, basically, and so the possible placement for advertiser increased, of course. At the beginning, company this is my Italian experience, because
Yeah.
during the pandemic I was in Italy at the beginning, and of course in March we didn't know how long this virus will be. And will last, of course. And so at the beginning, as some clients cancelled some commercial trades, events, etc., so they had some losses. At the beginning, the first move has been to cut the marketing advertising costs. But then, as the COVID lasted, some of those understood that the offline business was going to be stopped for long, and so they choose to invest more in digital in general, and in paid advertising, of course. That's different from those that were already running a digital project, because they already had the machine, let's say, and so they chose to spend more effort and energy and resources on that. But talking about those people that were at the beginning or was planning to start digital project, they say, no, I'm losing money and I'm not sure I'm gonna invest this money now.
Yeah.
But then they choose to start in some clients, and they had great results.
Yeah, what I feel like is I see a lot of people with scare of investing during that time, but then they realize that maybe, for instance, we see a lot of brands like supermarkets with the potential of investing in taking food to the homes of people, and digital marketing is really important in that sense, right?
Yeah.
Because you somehow you are telling to people, if you want to, we can do that. So you can't stop investing in digital marketing, right? At least that's my opinion. I feel like nowadays we really need to start like thinking in being more digital, more inserted in that world, instead of running away because it takes a lot of work and I don't have time for that. My money is for product. Maybe online is also a product, right?
Yeah, of course.
I feel like that. So let's think it out. So in terms of advertisement, I want to invest in more advertisement in my brand. I'm in all the digital platforms. Which one should I think like this one is going to be more successful? For you that you work, which ones do you work? Facebook, LinkedIn?
I mostly work with Google Ads, Facebook Ads, that is also Instagram Ads, LinkedIn Ads, and Amazon Ads. But I have some experience in other platforms. As I told you before, today many platforms and websites allow to create advertiser to buy that ad space. And so those are the most famous, as I told you, in Europe basically, and say. And if you want to start to promote your brand online, you can, as I told you before, we can make some pre-analysis. That basically means what could be the potential audience I can achieve on those platforms. Of course, on Google Ads, the main important information will be the volume of keyword related to my brand or to the product service I'm offering. In case in Avila, of course, could be Avila Space Co-working, and you can have the volume of the monthly search and estimated CPC, so cost per click, to join the audience. Otherwise, you can search, of course, for general keyword. Could be co-working in Lisbon in your case, and look how is the volume of all the keyword that could be in target with my business. Also, those that could be more ambiguous, we can test again, and you have an estimate. You can have an idea how much users could you target, and how could be an estimated price on that platform. Different is on Facebook and Instagram, for instance, because it's the main targeting criteria is about interest, demographics, behaviors on the platform, etc. And so it's different, because on Google Ads you are intersecting and catching an active research on the search engine, of course. On Facebook you are promoting to a potential customers. That's different. And
because there's too much people inserted in the Facebook, right? It's the scenario of it's not one generation. You have many generations in one platform.
In this case, also we are comparing a search engine with a social media. This is a bit different, because also Facebook and Instagram are display campaigns rather than Google search is a search campaign through keywords, so the target is completely different. And of course, part of the Google Ads world is also all the Google's website partner, so you can promote display ads also on Google Ads,
Mm-hmm.
and the platform with the YouTube, of course, is part of the Google ecosystem.
Yeah, yeah.
So also on Google you can diversify your strategy and promote video ads, search ads, display ads.
So it's a good
and,
place to invest.
It's a good place, of course, also because it's Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, Amazon are some of the biggest companies in the world, and most of their revenues came from advertising. So that means the potential users you can target is very, very high.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So for the community, I think it's interesting. So we're talking here in non-digital marketing channels, but what's your idea for the future? I mean, we're seeing the tendencies and the trends changing every day, and we believe that things may change in the future. As a professional in this area, what is your preview for the future? Do you think that things will change too much? Do you think we are going to catch the old generations, or the generation that is not really into internet? You can think about like 10 years from now.
Okay, well,
Wow.
10 years is a lot today to make
Yeah,
some
I know.
forecast. Let's say in the next, of course, the digital market will be more and more important, and I think the COVID, the pandemic, boost this process for many companies, because also the ones who at the beginning didn't start and jump on this wave, they understood it will be necessary in the future. And many platforms are born in day by day. Probably the future tech giant that will dominate the market, we not even know his name. But and so the fast and the competition of this platform today is extremely hard and fast. And so in the next we will see many different trends. For instance, recently Sky, that is supposed to be the television, launched its advertising platform. So digital marketers can provide advertising on their channel through the web. And so I expect many changes, but that will be necessary in the future, in my opinion.
Do you believe like people will be more interested in digital marketing? For instance, brands and businesses that are not used to be in that sense, they will start. I mean, this is kind of trying to be a witch here, but it's a point of view that I like to discuss, because we see a lot of changes today, and maybe a change for tomorrow too. That's why I find it interesting. So in terms of you're here with us in a co-work space, and I want you to tell us what it's like to work in here. Why did you choose a co-work space and not, like a business place? Just a room for you to stay in your client.
Okay. The main answer I will tell you is I trust the power of the community. And so to be honest, I saw many different co-working here in Lisbon since August before coming here, but I chose to Avila because I felt there were a strong community that can support me in terms of new trends. We can have discussion about topics, tech topics, etc. And they can provide me any necessary needs I have, as I'm a foreigner here basically. And since the beginning, I joined the community, and it has been very helpful for me to make networking here, both in terms of personal life, but also in terms of business, because I'm collaborating with some members.
Do you feel like, in terms of managing your clients, did you felt like it helped you somehow?
Sure, of course.
Because you have many areas around you.
For instance, yesterday I asked feedback on a member of the community from one of my clients. He told me a great answer, and I replied to my client. So it's a very stimulating place, and again, I trust the community.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Marco, for this wonderful talk. How can people find you on your blog or your social? Tell us.
You can add me on LinkedIn, for instance. My name is Marco Faccini, or you can write me an email, marco.faccini@guangxi.com. And otherwise, you can contact Avila, Petra, or Carlos, and they will keep you in touch.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching us. Don't miss the next week. We're having Maria Conceição Gato talking about events and creativity. Don't miss out.